Alright, what's good, y'all? Something to go crazy for today with something different than what I planned on recording, but it is the chaotic history of the horse game that took over the world, Umamusume. Pretty derby. I was actually going to play the game today and record some gold ship gameplay. I know I was kind of afraid of her at first. I was like, you know what I'm saying, she's kind of dope, but she's gonna piss me off, isn't she? I don't know, but I was gonna take the risk today and record it until I decided to first, you know what I'm saying, hop on that super creakiness, you know what I'm saying, my queen. I tried to gas her up real quick so that way she could help out as a legacy horse even more for gold ship, and I figured out what purple skills are today. That shit pissed me off. I don't even know how I got that. Somehow they just spawned it on me, talking about if I'm the #1 favorite for the match, then I'm gonna lose like a whole bunch of stats. I was like, what? And then on top of that, and once I ignored that, I think within 10 days, like 7 times I got bad mood, minus stamina. I was like, okay, dude. And on top of that, I got a secret event, I think, with some lady with like white hair that just offered me like some type of boost or something. I was like, okay, cool. And I chose the top option, like, yeah, boost my strength or something. I don't know. It was, I forget what it was called. It was like 5 different options. Never seen anything like it. I click it. It said like, I think it was -15 on everything. I was like, all right, bro, I'm not playing this game today. They was about to piss me off, but we will still get an Umamusume video out today because I am kind of addicted. And I do have all the openings to just react to recently, but I do need to edit those to put them on YouTube, which, you know, Patreon link in the description want to see early. But yeah, all that said, that just stressed me out. So instead, we are going to do a reaction video to the GOAT Mujin. Shouts out to them. Link in the description to the video. I will have it linked there, and let's check it out, man. It's been a minute since I actually just reacted to something aside from like an anime opening video somebody dropped, so this should be pretty interesting.
Meet SxmmyWasHere, a Chinese scientist who had created a genetically modified...
Oh. The ad blocker is fighting. Oh my god, you know, like, I mean, run your ads for him, but just... I have ad blocker on my own shit, to be honest. Please, don't use ad blocker if you don't have to. Don't use it on mine. But all right.
And being sentenced to jail for 3 years back in 2019. After being released, he was...
Okay, all right. I'm gonna be honest. I wasn't paying that much attention at first. I was like, okay, cool, this is the owner. But
meet
excuse me,
a Chinese scientist who had created a genetically modified baby, breaking every...
How did I not hear that at first? What
genetic research, and being sentenced to jail for 3 years back in 2019.
Nigga, what? Okay, what am I watching? All right, you know what?
After being released, he would somewhat disappear for a while until he got access to social media, most namely Twitter. And in classic
I'm kind of scared.
Fashion,
what game am I playing?
Tweet out, "Every pioneer or prophet must suffer."
That nigga got clout. Hold up.
At the camera.
23K likes.
Continuing his genetic research, like
3 years in prison.
This would of course make him go viral. But what were people's reactions here? Were they shocked? Were they outraged? Were they scared?
You tell me, brother.
They kept spamming him, pestering him even, with one request. Eventually, there will be so many people requesting the same thing that he had to make an entire post responding to it, saying, "Stop asking for cat girls. I'm trying to cure disease."
Hell no.
This dude was sentenced to jail for creating genetically modified babies and forging the ethical paper.
Let's be honest, that's kind of real though. That's kind of real. Like, horse girls are fire and all, but like, cat girls first, you know what I'm saying?
But the only
then again, I gotta chill because I have a cat now, so that sounds kind of crazy. You know what I'm saying? I'm okay with my cat. It's a boy cat, bro. Chill. Like, and if it was a girl cat, it'd still be fine. All right, I'm digging a hole. Let's go.
People we're concerned with was
That's not my cat.
Girls. Yeah, I mean, it comes as no.
I was just saying hypothetically.
Anime girls have taken over the world.
During my arc of not having a cat, you know.
Taught me anything in life, it's that things are better when combined together. And so some of the most intelligent people on planet Earth saw cats and thought, "Wow, this is really cute and adorable, like anime girls. Why don't we combine them and create cat girls?"
Oh, hell no.
A massive success. This, of course, made even more people think, until a particular group of people came up with a very interesting idea.
Wait, that dude's not even connected to Umamusume.
Oh, right? I'm sure they love dogs too, but what's one animal?
He look kind of goofy, but he's cute.
Since the beginning,
I don't think they got ice on his
wrist.
wrist.
Share a very important bond with horses. So listen to this genius idea, right?
I beg to differ, honestly. You know what I'm saying? I refute this point, as y'all can tell from my first video of Umamusume. Horse hater, big horse hater. Maybe not as much now. I'll be honest. I may be on a new path, but at the end of the day, you just can't trust them. Like, they're just too big and strong. And like, look at this big ass horse. He could really, he or she could just take you out any second they wanted to. To be free, you say about a lot of animals, but just, oh my gosh. I rode a horse once. It was alright, I guess. I don't know. Like, my siblings loved it. They were like, ah, go crazy. crazy. Like, but me, no.
What if we took
no,
anime
no,
girls and
no.
gave them horse ears and horse
Special
tails?
weekenders, yes,
Then we
sir.
would put all these cute
Okay,
anime horse girls together
the queen.
on a track and have them race just like horses do during horse races. But
They were
get
so
this,
real for that.
things don't end here, because these horse girls are living a double life. When they're not racing on the horse track, they're idols, dancing and singing in top
That
tier
shit is
performances
crazy.
to a massive audience. Sounds absolutely
What I'm wondering, I'm about to watch the first episode of Pretty Derby season 1 here soon, hopefully tomorrow. But what I'm wondering is, do they do that in the anime, or is that like just the gacha? Because at this point, I can't tell if the gacha game came out first or the anime. I kind of want to think that the gacha game came out first, because I know it's been at least like 5 years I've heard in Japan, but I feel like the anime might be a little bit older than that. I feel like I've heard of Umamusume at least 6-7 years ago, but I could be tweaking. Maybe I'm misremembering, but
same, right? I mean, seriously,
this had to
horse
have been a
girls,
thing for a
anime
while,
horse girls
right?
racing on a track. You've got to be shitting me, man. The concept of gacha
Nah,
games
that's
is
kinda
already
hard.
niche, and horse girls in a gacha game, you won't find anyone to play this.
Why you
No, I
lying?
was severely wrong.
Like,
Look
why
at this
not?
chart just on Steam with a peak of
Oh, the soundtrack?
87,000 people playing at the same
My bad, y'all. I know I'd be talking. Okay, the closed captions weren't working earlier. Nice.
time. That's not all though. The game hasn't even been out for 1 month globally and has already reached over 1 million downloads on the Google Play
Yes,
Store.
sir.
Still not surprised? The game has gotten
I'm surprised
so
it says 4.1
popular on
star. I
Steam
thought it'd be higher
that
than
it has
that.
beaten every single game on the platform to claim the #1 spot for most downloaded games in this current period. Now you might be thinking, okay, fine, maybe it's like this mass hysteria.
That's an insane W, but last time I saw this chart was Sparking Zero, and that shit was up there. Like, it blew everything out the water, even the new COD, all that shit, and that shit died so fast, so don't jinx it. But
maybe this concept is so
I
ridiculous
have faith.
people downloaded it, but then realized,
'Cause I'm too
it's not
invested, now I'm
for me,
addicted.
right? Look at these reviews. 94%
Huge W,
very
man.
positive, with almost 15,000 reviews on Steam. This game didn't just get downloaded a lot, it's now critically acclaimed. But if you're still somehow not shocked yet, well, get this. Gacha games are typically liked by a very specific
Okay.
demographic. Young adults who usually love anime. When it came to this horse girl gacha racing
Let 'em
game,
cook,
though,
low-key.
it reached children, their parents, and their grandparents, doing the impossible and targeting every single conceivable demographic.
I don't know if he's gonna mention this, but something I really like about this gacha game that made me respect it even more is the fact they have like a spending limit depending on the age you put in. Obviously, you can lie about your age and put something else in, you know, it's that way you can just spend as much as you want. But not only if you're a minor do you have to, like, you know what I'm saying, consult your parents first and get their approval, which is one step, you know, to just like blocking kids just wasting all the money. Still could obviously bypass it, but you know, it's a step forward. As well as I think when it asks for your date of birth, it does it way before it even mentions money, and that there'll be a limit after you put your date of birth. So it's not like you get prompted to know that, oh, I should definitely put something way older. I just thought that was pretty cool, and I respect that a lot, you know. Me, though, like, shit, grown-ass man, it's time to waste all my money. He's like, nah, I haven't spent anything yet.
Guys, it doesn't
I'm
matter where you
locked.
go. The
I'm so
metro,
locked.
the airport,
Pure
the
grind.
office, you will most likely see someone playing this on their phone. I say this with no exaggeration. Umamusume Pretty Derby has taken over the planet, and I haven't seen a gacha game do this since Genshin Impact back during the pandemic. But if this still doesn't shock you for whatever reason, then get ready to get sucker punched in the face, because that's exactly what happened to me when I started seeing headlines like this.
Umamusume developer Side Games is the title sponsor for Grand Prix de Paris, a prestigious horse racing event founded in 1863. Oh, they better? Come on now. They're locked in. They said anime girls are the future. The success of Umamusume has allowed Side Games to become one of the biggest sponsors of real horse racing, and they're helping keep the industry alive. That's kind of fire.
Umamusume developer Sxmmy is a title sponsor for Grand Prix de Paris, a prestigious horse racing event founded.
Hold on. Okay. Hold on. Why you put some sauce in it? He's a Grand Prix de Paris.
Sponsor for Grand Prix de Paris, a prestigious horse racing event founded in 1863.
Is bro part
event
French?
Being held for almost 2 centuries. And their logo just happens to be on an image of an anime girl that is also a horse.
That's hard as hell. Is that not hard?
And how did
You don't
we
see the
get
vision.
here?
You kind of see the
none of
vision,
it
but
was
you don't see it fully.
straightforward. And this game almost failed to release. Umamusume Pretty
Really?
Derby has a somewhat chaotic but also very interesting history. And seeing how it's practically dominated the world, I figured we need to talk about it. So let's do this.
W man,
horses
send me down
are
the
such
rabbit hole.
silly animals, but you know what other animals I like?
These
Warships,
horses, bro.
Warplanes and war tanks, baby. And the best part about this is that I can find all these vehicles.
Yo, W at, but
Yeah. All right, guys, by now, you know the drill. To really understand the significance of all this, we need context. And in this case, it's going to be a little history lesson. And we're going all the way back to the year 1603, the beginning of the Tokugawa
like I'm watching the
period,
History Channel with my
otherwise
mom
known as
again.
the Edo period. This period would be the most traditional period in Japan, mostly because it would be incredibly isolated from the rest of the world. The people in power at the time feared outside influence. In fact, their biggest
I need to
fear...
rewind a little bit. I'm gonna pay attention. What are these tracks using in the background? You know, I'm gonna content care of my damn self. I need to put some of these in the back of my videos. Like, I be trying to put some heat, but
isolated from the rest of the
hold
world.
on.
The people in power at the
These
time
commentary
feared
channels.
outside influence. In fact, their biggest fear was Christianity. You'd have missionaries from European countries come in to spread the gospel, and people were converting fast. The Japanese leaders saw this as a way for Europe to slowly take control of Japan, so they took extreme measures. They completely locked down the country except for a select few traders who only had access to specific ports.
Damn.
Japanese people were not allowed to leave Japan, and if they did, they wouldn't be allowed back. And more importantly, Christianity was outlawed. The shogunate took extreme measures and massacred over 37,000 Japanese Christians, making it go almost extinct in Japan.
Oh my
For
God,
2 centuries.
bro.
This would all change.
I mean, bro. I tried to escape one depression, the game that kept fucking me. Now I'm figuring out how the world is fucking all of us. I mean, obviously history has been very cruel at times. Shit, real world right now is cruel, but you know, we're not gonna get all that. But just
in 1868,
God damn,
when
it's
the Tokugawa shogunate
it's
would
pain
lose
all
its
around me,
power
bro.
and the
I can't
Meiji
escape it.
Restoration would take its place. One could say that this period was the opposite of the Tokugawa shogunate's military rule, completely opening up the country, technologically advancing very quickly, and fully embracing the idea of an industrialized nation that can compete with Europe and North America. That way, they don't face the threat of colonization. During this
locked
new
in for
era,
a-
you'd start seeing more foreigners in Japan, like British and Americans, specifically around port towns. Their numbers would start becoming significant to the point where they'd start having their own communities built around those port towns. This is where, to kill time, Westerners would start playing the sports they knew, like rugby, cricket, and of course, baseball, which is now the most popular sport in Japan today. But
Really?
according to the 500-page book,
Oh, wow.
titled Routledge Companion to Sports History, which outlines the origins of sports all around the world, horse racing in Japan was introduced as early as 1862 by those same Westerners. And within just 8 years, the first jockey club in Kobe was formed in 1870. You see, the Japanese, much like the rest of the world, also had a special connection to horses. They also loved the idea of entertainment. So they latched onto the sport very quickly, as you can see from...
Let me know in the comments real quick. Are y'all all horse lovers? Are we all horse lovers that are watching this, or are some of us just like me for all anime girl horse lovers? Actual horses, like, it's like I don't hate you, but I kind of hate you. I don't know, like you're dangerous. I know what you are. You're dangerous, bro.
Loved the idea.
Everybody want to put the guard down around you.
they
Not
latched
me
onto
though.
the
No
sport
sir.
very quickly, as you can
I'm
see
locked
from this
in.
old drawing. Japanese people are on their horses about to race, but the people organizing it can be seen on the left.
I played Red Dead 2.
and
I
they're
got kicked in the
foreigners, they're
face by one.
Westerners. Today, it's seen as a prestigious sport, with the Japan Cup having some of the highest prize pools on the planet, and the Japanese taking the sport very seriously, wanting to compete on even footing with foreign horses. Right now, the prize pool for the Japan Cup is about $8.3 million, with first place claiming $3.8 million. And even though horse racing was seen as such an important
Jesus.
sport in Japan, there was a problem. Interest was kind of waning. When you go to a horse track, you'd mostly see men who are in the older demographics. You wouldn't see teenagers, young adults, kids, or even women.
Because they know the vibes.
In a
They're
way,
dangerous.
If things kept going
I'm
this
gonna
way,
stop.
then the sport would have probably died out in a couple of generations. It was simply seen as too old-fashioned. But all of this would change when a particular studio came up with a ridiculous
Legendary,
idea, an
legendary.
idea, actually, that almost ruined their company's reputation and
Hey, yo.
potentially could have bankrupted them. I'm of
Jesus
course
Christ.
talking about Umamusume Pretty Derby. Cyber Agent is a Japanese company that was founded in 1998. They started out as a digital advertising company, but in 2011, they decided to expand in the ever-growing video game market. This is when they would create Games, a video game development studio. Cyber Agent would own the majority of the shares of
What's that one
Games,
Star Rail
but
track?
sell a few to other companies, like for example, Nintendo, who owns 5% of Games. They would go on to create some pretty well-received games, like Shadowverse,
I've heard of
a digital
Shadowverse.
collectible card game, and of course, Grand Blue Fantasy, which was
Oh, they made Grand Blue Fantasy? Bro, that's crazy. That actually is crazy because I'm sitting here bringing up Grand Blue Fantasy so much. in the Umamusume videos, literally think it has no, direct correlation in the slightest. Just, it's another series. I was like, these designs look fucking insane. I had to check this out eventually, and I stalled forever, and then I finally played Relink like last year. Well, I didn't finish it, but I still need to. But it was fire. I was like, bro, I need to get more into the series. And the fighting game was pretty cool too. I just stopped playing because they kept skipping my intros. Don't disrespect me like that. That's why I played that game. But that's crazy.
Cygame's most important game would end up being one of the first ones they'd ever release in 2011.
Bro, Idolmaster, this is another series with some fire characters. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not really seeing it like from these, but I remember seeing on Instagram, bro, like back in like 2016, 2015, there'd be like some fire Idolmaster character designs, which I saw. It was the big three of like fire enemy designs of shit I was not checking out at the moment. I did get into Fate, but Fate, which I did end up getting to basically ASAP, Fate, Idolmaster, Grand Blue Fantasy Relink. There were some others, but those are the three like big ones that I was like, damn, these designs look crazy. I feel like these pictures don't do it justice though. I don't know. I could have sworn it was like crazier than that. Maybe it's the more recent series, but
titled The Idolmaster.
For a second, I thought I saw K-On in here. I was like, K-On
would be a part of the massive franchise known as The Idolmaster, owned by Bandai Namco, with the first ever game coming out in 2005. Many games for this franchise would release, and in 2011, that's when Cygames would release The Idolmaster Cinderella Girls. They made this on behalf of Bandai Namco. What was special about this game is that it was made for mobile phones. Back in 2011, Namco was seeing the rise of mobile games, and so that's when they asked Cygames to help. The premise was simple. You'd collect a bunch of idol girls and you would train them, raising their stats through lessons. You would then be able to do a number of things like customize their outfits and even spend money on cosmetics. There would also be many different games, including a multiplayer game mode where you can fight other players.
Who hurt you? Why does the girl look so evil?
Wins. Overall, it was simple, but extremely successful. This game was earning more than 1 billion yen a month. Back then, that was
yen. That's still a lot, but
more than
all it was 1 billion. I was like, oh no.
The game chose to pay for either in-game items or energy in order to play more. And according to this article, in August 2012, the game had made 9 million USD, which is more than the cost of developing the game. This game was making more money monthly than it cost to make. And all it did was just feature a bunch of idols that you trained, up their stats, and got them different outfits. But you see, Bandai Namco is truly taking this franchise to the next level. It started as an arcade game, they made a mobile game, and they also made a manga as well as an anime that adapted that same manga. They were essentially using this franchise to build a media empire, and it was working very damn well. They would continue to hire more developers to create more entries in this franchise, and the most recent release would be in 2024, so it's still doing pretty damn well. This is when Cygames would have some sort of an epiphany. Even though this was owned by Bandai Namco, they were the ones who made this extremely successful game. And I mean, it made sense. Why wouldn't a game like that be a success? The idol industry in Japan is probably one of the biggest, most successful industries in entertainment. It involved finding someone young with talent, absolutely destroying their lives with ridiculously rigid training and extremely unrealistic expectations.
He's not wrong.
Once they get enough popularity, this is when you would milk their fans with a bunch of different.
I didn't think he's gonna be so honest about it.
People will do anything for their idols. They'll literally buy a photo album of them, okay? This is why the idol industry is such a money printing machine. But here's a fun fact for you. When it comes to horse racing in the West, certain jockeys, who are the horse riders, might have fans, sure. The horses that they ride also might have fans, but it wasn't anything crazy. In Japan, on the other hand, the horses had fans, all right. They had their own merch. They were recognized by name.
They locked in for real.
Superstitions made around them.
It's the girl that always loses. Well, this is a dude horse, actually. Haru Urara. Damn, that's kind of tough, low key. I don't know. Like, can I stand a loser? It's like, no, but at the same time, it's like, just knowing that one day they could possibly win, which I did hear that eventually they did win, but they were in retirement. Like, this just happened recently. I don't know. That's what I keep seeing floating around as information. But wow, a horse that is known for losing literally every time but does not give up. I want to wear a shirt too, to be honest. I'm like, you got this. And the day you win, I'm flexing on everybody. It's over. I never gave up hope. I always had faith. You just like me for real. I'm just playing show. We take some W's.
Sounded ridiculous. There was big market potential.
Shit, gold ship.
Cygames had made a very successful idol game, and yet horse racing was a deeply historical aspect of Japanese culture while also having those same idol traits. You know what else is interesting? When it comes to entertainment, the idol industry is very profitable, sure, but one thing Japanese people love to do is gamble, baby.
Yeah, I saw that shit in Japan. It was scary.
It's like an American not knowing what a burger is.
Yeah,
at this
pachinko
point,
machines,
it's practically
man.
cultural. I mean, look, it goes without saying that horse racing
It
was
looked
very
just like
popular in
these
Japan
photos.
because of the whole gambling aspect of it. And now you can gamble on a simulated horse race. It's not even real. And you place your bets on this spaceship-looking machine.
This
bro.
super scam ass? Ah, nah, bro.
And
Bro,
finally,
wait. Have y'all seen the one pachinko machine that was going viral a few years back? Or is like, I think it was, what is it called? I've watched it now. Damn, I got Sailor Moon in my face. Now I just keep thinking Sailor Moon, but no, it was Madoka Magica, where you put your finger on the screen and then, like, depending on the girl, I think it's like the Madoka herself, like, when you hold it to, I was like, oh hell no. Like, it's kind of cute, but it's just like, bro, why y'all finesse these niggas out of their money? I was genuinely scared. That was like my least favorite place in Japan. Pachinko place.
And in the early 2000s,
they were
many
deep
artists
in there.
were having the amazing idea of giving anime girls cat ears or just small animal features. Not to mention that there were already examples in media taking this a step further. Instead of giving them animal features, they would give them features of objects, like how the game Azur Lane.
That's kind of disrespectful.
These hot anime women that are meant to be World War II battleships.
World War II? Jesus Christ. They got lore.
And she's part of the large cruiser category.
Okay.
Stationed in the camp Sakura Islands. This is meant to be a battleship, bro, like an actual boat. You understand?
It's kind of hard,
man,
though.
Does she have some big cannons? Let me tell you that much. So I don't know who the genius at Cygames was, bro. It could be the CEO. It could be a producer. Someone had the brilliant idea to sit everyone down and
I look
say,
like my uncle.
Hey, what if we combined all these elements together, right? For the gambling, we make a gacha game. For the anthropomorphic, we combine all these elements together.
My bad.
Right?
I swear I'm paying attention to the video. It's just like, you know, I don't watch too many commentary videos, so whenever I do, I get fascinated by everything. You know what I'm saying? The images, the commentary, the music. Bro, Gold Ship looks amazing here. Like, she kind of bad, but it's like, dude, I don't want someone that's gonna troll and hate me. Like, it's supposed to be me, you against the world. Like, hate everybody else on the track. Go kick all the other horses. That'd be kind of goated. Like, I know you're gonna get us disqualified, but that's fine. What the fuck you say fuck me for?
We make horse girls, and for the idol part, we base them off the most famous horses in Japan, while also making them sing and dance, because why not? Now, be honest, if you were one of those people listening to this pitch, would you have signed off on this? Because it obviously sounds ridiculous, right? Most people probably wouldn't have. But Cygames had top-tier drugs in their office because, you know what? They said yes.
Okay.
They then wasted no time getting started on developing the game, revealing it for the first time on the 21st of August 2016 at the Anime Japan Expo. Excitement for this game was actually already starting to build up, and that made more people want to know more details about Umamusume. So on January 2017, the main content producer of Cygames, Akihiro Ishihara, was asked a bunch of different questions during an interview, and one of them was, please tell us about the development status. And he said, this game is about 25% complete. Keep that number in mind. But for now, this interview had also revealed
Air
many of
Groove
the
Mars
designs, as well as the
is that Marusinski? I think that's her name, right?
in mind.
I'm not gonna lie.
This interview had also revealed
with my little free 3-star rank ticket, I got special week because like they got me off the intro to the game. I was like, damn, she kind of fire, but she's still cool. But low key, I think this is Maruzinski or whatever her name is. She's low key cooler. I was like, damn, I fucked up.
As well as the famous horses they're based on. It seemed like they knew what they were doing.
Oh my god, I need the black girl. She's tough.
The Idolmaster route, not just aiming to make one good game, they wanted to make a media empire around Umamusume. So just a couple of months after that interview in March 2017, they released a manga, but they weren't done yet because they wanted to adapt this manga into an anime, and were going to enlist the studio PA Works to do it.
So this was before the game.
Release this anime in 2018 in parallel to the game's release. That way both would help each other, and they would start off with a strong symbiotic media empire. That was the plan, except nothing, and I mean nothing, in regards to release dates went according to plan.
Yeah, I think the same thing happened with what's that one anime, Tokto P, where they got fucking Wit Studio. What was it, Wit Studio? It was one big company. I think it was Wit Studio and Mappa. I know for a fact Mappa was one of them, and they just like, you know, worked together. It looked beautiful, but like, yeah, apparently it started to fall off in the story and shit like that. Later on, just like, just like flashy. That's about it. And then the game apparently flopped. I think they had like EOS already, but I don't know. This is just stuff I think I remember from last year. So
Umamusume Pretty Derby.
you'd have to
anime
look
would
it up
release
to be
on
sure.
April 1st,
I'll look it up later,
2018.
but
It wasn't just limited to Japan. It had a simulcast with Crunchyroll in select regions of the world. It was almost an instant success. Similarly to how people love the idea of cat girls, the idea of horse girls was also very well received. But a couple of aspects that it was really praised for were, one, its attention to detail, and two, its very skilled world building.
wait, that's in the anime? That is tough as fuck. Wait, the horse girl runs in the 50 miles per hour lane, and then the car in the 40. That is fire as hell. What the fuck?
But we'll get to that later. Right now, there's a more pressing concern going on. As the anime was running, the game would release
your slow,
3
funky
more
ass car
teasers
over
on
there.
April 19th. It showcased a race, a live show, and a story/training section. I can't show you those videos because they've been privated, but overall, it seemed like everything was going according to plan, with the game scheduled to release around the end of 2018. This would be confirmed again on July 2018, with yet another trailer showing off the game and its mechanics, announcing at the end that it was going to release at the end of 2018. As people were waiting, wondering when the game was going to come out, Sxmmy took their sweet time and only announced on December 15th, 2018, literally the end of the year, that Umamusume Pretty Derby has been delayed in order to raise the game's quality, saying that they will reveal the new release period at a later date. I mean, okay, not a big deal. I mean, it would have been nice if you told us earlier, but one delay doesn't hurt, especially if the game's going to be better for it, right? Well, the game got delayed again in 2019.
And again and again and again and
the new
again.
release date was slated to be in 2020. Now, Cyber Agent is a publicly listed company, and just like any publicly listed company, they would have shareholder meetings. So in their third quarter shareholder meeting in 2020, they re-emphasized to their investors that Umamusume Pretty Derby was going to be released in 2020, confirming that fact. Just a couple of months earlier, in May 2020, the managing director of Cygames confirmed yet again that Umamusume Pretty Derby was releasing in 2020. But then, we got to December 2020 and the game was nowhere to be found. But yet again, in the final shareholder meeting of the year on December 12th, investors would be told that this game is still on track to release in 2020, but there were 2 weeks left in the year. It was safe to say that
That's
after previous
wild as
delays,
hell.
people weren't just thinking, oh, this game's going to be delayed again. They were also thinking, is this game ever going to release? How can you say in an interview in the beginning of 2017 that the game's almost 25% done with a 2018 release date, and yet here we are 2 years later, barely able to make the release? Usually this means that the game has no direction, that Cygames is dealing with an internal disaster. And what really reinforced this—
Sounds like fucking The Wolf Among Us right now. If y'all know about that with Telltale. Oh my god, that shit. How long ago was that announced? Like 2017 or something? I don't know. I'm just throwing numbers out there, but I know there's like a trailer like a few years ago, and they have not said anything, bro. It's terrible. Like,
narrative.
I'm glad that they held off on this for sure, because it seems like if anything, you know, they put that quality in the time they got their shit together, and now it's a banger. Like, it could have been some rushed out BS alongside the anime,
game
but
didn't even come out in 2020. We had reached 2021 and the game still had not released yet.
It's got to be annoying though.
On February 24th, 2021, that the game had finally released in Japan. And while it was cool that the game had finally come out, people didn't really know whether to be excited or worried, especially with how Cyberpunk 2077 had released just a couple months earlier. And even though it's been delayed multiple times,
that release
one of
was
the worst
awful,
launches
man.
in history.
That shit
But you know
broke
what?
my
As hard
PC.
as it
Fuck
was
them
to
niggas.
believe,
Oh my.
This was not the case with Umamusume.
I got my new
Derby.
one though. It's
People
cool.
were so addicted to the damn thing they couldn't stop playing. The gameplay loop definitely took inspiration from their work on Idolmaster. Your horses, or horse anime girls, would have 5 different
Yes,
stats that you
sir.
would train them on. You'd also have many different
Buckshin,
minigames and
Buckshin.
many ways to interact with your roster. You would then have your horse, or
Super
horse girl,
great. Yo,
race,
shout out
competing
my
against
goat.
others in a bid to win first place. These races would make your heart beat like crazy because there was always a chance that one of the horse girls could use a special ability, including your own, like you're seeing right here. You could be losing a race, and then your horse will all by themselves decide to do this in order to win. It just depends on their mood and how you've treated them. One could even say that this was more exciting than IRL horse racing thanks to all these factors.
I
But the
agree.
game wasn't over with just
I
one horse
agree.
girl. Eventually that horse girl would retire, just like IRL horses, kicking off the inheritance mechanic just like real life. Here's an example. This is the family tree of the very famous horse, Goldchip. As you can see, this is probably more complex than my own family tree, and I'm a human. It rivals the family tree of like some royalty from the 1600s or something.
Christ.
This is all done with the goal of creating the most genetically engineered monster that can dominate any race. And that's what you kind of do in Umamusume as well. The hard work
Wait,
that you
wait,
put
wait,
into—
my bad. I'm tripping. I thought that they were implying this is the game. I was like, okay, they're just trying to sell more characters. Like, oh yeah, and then they're what the fuck? This is the actual horses IRL
inheritance mechanic.
What?
Just like real life. Here's an example. This is the family tree of the very famous horse Goldship. As you can see, this is probably more complex than my own family tree.
Oh no, they're trying to hit gold.
It rivals the family
this
tree
some old
royalty
like
from the 1600s.
what's his name? Endeavor from My Hero shit. We're gonna have the perfect kid.
And
Nigga just
monster that can dominate any race. And that's
niggas
what you
out there
kind of do
slanging
with
this shit.
Umamusume
Yo,
as well.
chill.
The hard work that you put into your
God damn.
horse girl can now be incorporated into your new horse girl by using her as one of her coaches. So
That's kind of peak though.
You also become more of a genetic scientist and try to create the perfect horse girl after many different runs.
We're
This
sick
gameplay
fucks.
loop was
Damn.
so addicting, it was like playing a civilization game. Screaming one more turn as the
Clash of
police is
Clans?
confiscating your
No.
phone from you because you haven't eaten in 3 days. People couldn't stop
gonna-
playing it. But as this game became so popular in Japan, it started somewhat suffering from success, you could say. You see, usually the people who own some of the best racehorses in the world happen to be some very wealthy and successful people. Seeing that Umamusume's characters are based on real life horses, they had to go and ask each of these owners their permission to have them in the game. The owners agreed to do that free of charge, not charging any money. This was seen as a very cool and kind gesture from them. But here's the thing, these weren't just horses, these were...
She might be my main whenever she drops. I've been looking at her design, bro, and when I looked at the openings, yo, she looks so fire. Kita-san, hey, and she's like Kita from Bocchi Zaraka. Bocchi Zaraka, that's my goal.
Anime girls that were in many cases pretty, and usually when you present Japan with a pretty anime girl, they will instinctively almost want to draw some pretty lewd fan art. That was a problem.
He said, why you putting titties on my horse?
So they created very specific fan-created content guidelines, outlining rules, saying you can't make fan art with the intent to injure the reputation of this franchise or other third parties. You can't do any lewd stuff. You can't do any violent stuff. The owners of these horses did not want to see their horses participate in anything like that.
Get those titties off my horse, bro. What are you doing?
Necessarily make people want to listen.
You
now,
high as a
course,
bitch.
Usually, if you were to break these rules, Cygames would just send you a takedown notice and sue you if you don't comply. But of course, this would be too boring for a franchise like Umamusume. So some people came up with a rumor that now is regarded as truth in many different circles.
The horse gonna run you over? The actual horse that you made fan art of?
If you draw any lewd art of Umamusume girls, the Yakuza will knock on your door.
Yakuza?
Okay.
What? Yakuza? Like, oh my gosh. Bro, all my favorite series are aligning. It's like I should take this more serious, but I just finished Yakuza 3 a couple days ago. That finale was golly. Shouts out my nigga Mine. You know what? I'm about to say something fucked up he did though, but never mind.
Yakuza will knock on your door and hurt you.
Bro,
okay,
chill.
so as far as I can tell, this all started with this stupid
over
tweet.
a picture.
A Japanese person tweeted this out, saying the reason why Japanese artists can't draw Umamusume porno art is that Umamusume is based on real racehorses and their owners are like mafia bosses who control the Japanese economy, and we don't want to offend them. This was tweeted on March 11th, 2021, so very shortly after the game released. Now, I don't know how much attention this initial tweet got, but what really brought attention to this was the second tweet this person would make, saying, please retweet as much as you can for people overseas. It included that original tweet and another image, with that person saying, the content of the tweet and the image is complete bullshit. It is a falsehood that amounts to defamation of the racehorse owners. I have insulted the owners of racehorses and other people involved in horse racing, as well as the staff of the Umamusume project. Racehorse owners are people who are sincerely committed to the culture of horse racing. They are not involved in antisocial organizations. In addition, I tried to make overseas artists complicit in the prohibition of secondary works that significantly worsen the image of the project, which is clearly stated in the official guidelines. This is all due to my short-sightedness and arrogance. I would like to express my deepest apologies to
I guess at least he admitted it and apologized. That's the first step.
This apology was definitely overkill to the initial tweet. It was clearly like some kind of a joke, I guess. It was all.
Give me one quick sec, though, y'all. Hold up. All right, we go. Let's get it.
Almost like this person had, I don't know, murdered someone. This made people assume that this person got caught by the Yakuza and forced at gunpoint to make this apology, because that's what it sounds like. As you can see here, the top comment is, so they found you? And the person
got his ass.
No, it's not. It's just that I made the wrong statement. Someone else said, I'm guessing they gave you a call. To which this person said, no, it doesn't. Someone said, I'm
Not the
sorry to hear that the
KW.
racehorse mafia got to you. Had no idea Japan even had such an intense culture of racehorsing, let alone one run by gangsters. And that person replied with, please don't tell us such bullshit.
You started it. Like,
This
oh,
person
brother.
was so easy to troll. And this eventually got posted
Yo,
on
chill,
Reddit,
bro.
ironically saying, turns out old-fashioned Yakuza are alive and well in Japanese horse racing industry. They're sending goons to stop doujin artists from making drawings of Umamusume project characters. All of these events have resulted in this becoming a full-fledged...
My niggas Kiryu to Majima, they know ball, and the Stamina Royale in his hand. Come on, now I told y'all. See, now I can really bring up Yakuza. Yakuza? Alright. I hate the Yakuza. I hate that. I didn't say that. Anyways.
Whenever someone mentions, man, I'd love to draw these characters and loot
When I go to
poses,
Japan again next
someone
year, I'm
always
not trying to
comes
get called
in and
out.
comments, hey man, you don't want to do that. The Yakuza's gonna get you. And while it's funny, it's gotten a lot of people to actually believe it, especially overseas. But the truth is that Yakuza doesn't own any of the horses, and that gambling is heavily regulated by the JRA, the Japanese Racing Association. So no, if you draw lewd art, the Yakuza aren't gonna knock on your door, but you might get a DMCA notice from
Might
a
snipe
lawyer.
your ass though.
Regardless, Yakuza hiccups aside, this game was making bank. In 2021
Big bang.
alone, even though they released 1 month after the year had began in February, they had made over $1 billion. And by March
Dollars,
2025,
not yen?
they had made a total of $2.5 billion since release. This is an insane amount of money, but what's even more insane is that 90% or more of its revenue came purely from Japan. Cygames had the Japanese population in its chokehold. And as I mentioned, these weren't just young adults. There would be endless stories of people going on the metro, going to a restaurant, going outside, and seeing someone way older than them or way younger than them playing this game on their phone. It became cultural. But here's the thing, Japan, even though open to the rest of the world, still has a very particular market. Just because something is successful there does not mean in any way that it'll be successful anywhere else.
That's true.
Especially when it comes to the topic of gacha games. So when it came to finally launching the game globally on June 26,
Nah, Marzinski fire. Look at the pose. Fuck, I fucked up.
After launching it
Special
in Japan,
wiki cool,
people
but
didn't really know what to
bruh.
expect. It was reasonable to think that it was going to just die out in a few months, with Japan continuing to be its main revenue source. Except what it did was inconceivable. It was absolutely dominating the Steam charts. As you saw in the intro, it became the #1 most downloaded game on Steam at some point, also becoming an instant success on mobile. But what's really interesting here is that it managed to recreate exactly what happened in Japan, but globally, which was not having a target demographic, reaching everyone equally. Here's a fun example. Northern Lion is a streamer who's 36 years old. He would not in any way be the target demographic of a game like Umamusume Pretty Derby. No.
Why you call him out like that? Maybe you do fuck with his anime girls, you know what I'm saying? Them racing and, you know, horsing around and shit. Like, get off him. Like,
hell. But his chat kept pestering him, please download the game, give it a shot, for the love of God, you'll love it. And eventually, he gave in. Now, Northern Lion is a pretty big streamer. He'll usually average around 15,000 viewers. But when he streamed Umamusume, he had reached his all-time peak of 40,000 live viewers. And you know what the craziest part is? He absolutely loved it, okay? He fell in love with the game, the characters, everything. He even had Japanese players seeing some of the reactions from Western players thinking, wow, we gotta up our game
what
because
the hell?
these guys are way more passionate than us. Look at this.
Come on, Gold Ship, put
Alright,
it in
bro.
high gear.
Gold Ship? Is it really like that? Is Gold Ship putting that work? Hold on. He might inspire me to really go crazy on this Gold Ship run.
Come on!
It was, with no exaggeration,
You just like me for
taking
real?
over
Maybe?
the entire internet. And it showed in the stock price of Cyber Agent, the parent company of Cygames, with its stock market price going up like crazy. But why is that? How is this game such a success, so highly rated, both in Japan and overseas?
It's fire,
We've
simple.
established that the gameplay loop is fun, sure,
crazy.
but there are a lot of games like that. This isn't just a game at this point, it's a cultural phenomenon. So what was...
I'm interested to see what bro's gonna say, but low-key, I do think while promotion and all of that does play into it, and I've seen like a lot of it getting posted everywhere, I do think luck is like definitely the biggest factor. That's how it goes with a lot of things. Even Genshin, well, they did put a lot into promotion. I remember I literally got it day one because everyone was playing it. They were sponsoring so many creators. Like, Jesus Christ, fuck it, I'll try it out. It looked pretty interesting, and I fucking fell in love with the shit. But I do feel like still luck plays a big factor in it, because even aside from the paid promotion, you need people on social media talking about it, and it really depends like what part of social media hits first. If they get shot down, like, oh, you playing that nut ass shit, or if it's like, oh my god, it's actually lit. Look at that. It's like everybody on it. So
that other games
were even
close to achieving. Well, the horses. All right, so remember how I mentioned that this game's anime was praised for having immense attention to detail and world building? Well, the game was very similar in that regard too. Seeing that all these anime horse girls were based on real-life horses, Cygames did their homework and examined every single horse and its very specific personality, incorporating all these aspects into their anime character. But that's not all. When it comes to the world,
Super Creek? I'm about to look into that some more. That's my goal.
Into their anime character. But that's not all. When it comes to the world of Umamusume, many things in there were based on real-life locations, like racetracks and areas around it.
Oh, wow.
Anything from train stations to the convenience store where the horse girls buy their carrots. This wasn't just attention to detail. This was making landmarks out of IRL locations and attributing important history to them. Additionally, this world wasn't just made in like one evening. It made sense.
Think, why is the telephone bigger than her head? She high as a bitch. Like,
that's because its world building was very well made. Horse girls in this world are seen as a different type of species. They're treated as well as humans. There's no discrimination, and instead they have a real place in this world, with certain gadgets, for example, made specifically for them. Look at this extremely long phone.
I'm saying, like,
her horse ear and her mouth.
Oh, that's fire. That's so nuts.
Specifically for horse girls.
What in the actual fuck?
With their tails. There's even historical landmarks in the anime, like how
that's fire though. That's fire.
Easter Island.
It's kind of musty, but it's fire.
They even took famous Japanese horse racing paintings and converted them to accommodate the world. As you can see, these are horse girls racing here. So from a world point of view, this already made sense. The attention to detail was there. And so when it came to the actual personalities of each horse, guys, they couldn't have done a better job.
They cooked, I fear.
One of the most famous horses in Japanese racehorsing history is Goldship. This is a horse who ran 28 races and won 13 times. An incredible record. But what really made Goldship famous is that he was an absolute diva with the ridiculously unique and rage-baiting personality.
Rage baiting is
Goldship
crazy.
had a total of 12 billion yen betted on him.
I've heard about this. Yeah,
he would win just like he won his other races.
Cook. This is why I can't trust this damn horse. Like, I want to fuck with you, but
12 billion yen incident when he would do this.
You could never convince me to be so into the troll like that. I would be okay with someone making me lose millions, and it's all good. You know what I'm saying? He liked to troll around a little bit. Like, man, that horse and I would have had a scrap. I don't even care. Like, you could kick me in the face. I'm gonna take that shit. Oh my gosh.
He would simply refuse to race. Everyone would go except him. He didn't care. He just didn't feel like it, and so he didn't race, losing people 12 billion yen.
Yeah, hell nah. I would have been tilted.
In the game and in general in the Umamusume universe, they would recreate the same incident in the anime series. Watch.
Why is that horse so sleepy? Damn. Oh, hell nah. That's nasty as a bitch.
And just so you
know, Shakur, Tupac Shakur,
who was casting that day to voice in the anime. Guys, the attention to detail is ridiculous.
Oh shit, really?
So seeing that Goldship was an absolute diva, yet at the same time very skilled, Cygames made sure to incorporate that into Umamusume Pre-Derby. She'd be very skilled, very talented, and yet would have crazy mood swings, refusing to train, and sometimes, even though having the best stats, would just refuse to race. Like, they're not giving a single shit. This eccentric personality would so
the fits though,
that it would create a new
she's a tweaker, but I kind of fuck with her, but she fuck.
Horse.
I don't know, man.
This is a video of Goldship in retirement, literally just hanging out. It has over 2.2 million views. This is
bro
just
acts like my cat,
hanging out for 2 minutes, not doing anything except fooling around. That's how much of a sensation he
damn
became because of this game and his history. I mean, look,
most
people would just stopped there and moved on to a different topic, but not with me, you won't. Goldship's personality wouldn't just end with him being a diva. He would also be one of the most successful breeders, with a successful mating rate of 99.1%, having over 500 children, with a few of them becoming absolute champions. In fact, according to some staff, after he would finish mating with a mare, she would then refuse to mate with anyone else but Goldship. That's just how good he is, man. But
alright, So I am now going from taking L's in the gacha game to find out about how well this man can sling a horse cock. This is crazy.
I guess it also explains why he enjoyed it so much. He would swing his cucumber from side to side.
All right, bro, you got it, man. All right, bro, you got it. All right, but I'm just gonna talk over you because like now you're doing too much. You're doing too much. Yeah, he's a bitch. Oh my god. I didn't mean to do that. See, now I'm doing too much. My fault.
Successful mating rate of this amount of detail, but people look into this. That's how obsessed they are with Gold Ship. This isn't just
they look into his cock size. Oh no,
he was a rage baiter, like the whole 12 billion yen incident, but also the fact that his trainers realized that wait a second, in his retirement he's running even faster than he used to run back when he was still a racehorse, making him realize that he never used his full potential while being a racehorse, almost as if on purpose to spite his trainers.
And I kind of just like be for else, like fuck y'all.
Horses aren't just creatures that we share a special connection with. They also have many unique and diverse personalities. Most people have a hard time seeing that though, because we don't really interact with horses that much anymore. So turning them into anime horse girls with proper world building,
where the dog girls at, honestly.
Appreciate their very deep
cat girls
and valuable personalities. And no one received more appreciation than the horse Haru Urara.
Nah, she kind of goated.
When she was young, she would go unsold at an auction. Seeing that no one wanted to buy her, she was entrusted to the cheapest racecourse to run in Japan. Her trainers thought that this would be a good chance for her to maybe win since she had a hard time training. But then she went on to lose 113 races in a row, never winning once. However, when she had lost her 87th race...
I know, he said, damn, nigga, I was not cooking shit. He thought he was about that. He really thought he was about to get a W with that horse. Nah, he...
once. However, when she had lost her 87th race in a row, the race announcer, Koji Hashiguchi, would be absolutely shocked at this statistic. He was like, dude, this like never happens. Most horses would have given up by now. They would have retired. So he sent her racing record to national media outlets thinking...
I have a question for anybody that knows. So when he says retired, does that mean the horse literally would just like stop trying to, you know, race period? Like, and then the owners realize, oh, this horse doesn't want to do this. All right, we're done. Because I kind of assumed low key until the owner wants them to stop racing, they don't care, get your ass back out there. But it's actually kind of nice if they just let the horses retire when they want. But damn, that's crazy. I'm surprised Gold Ship didn't retire earlier than like truly fuck y'all.
Dude,
okay,
this is insane. Like,
this horse got hard
about this, and they did, which made her ridiculously famous. People started going in
famous for being a loser.
The Gacha race course. The wives of the jockeys, the people who rode the horses,
she got hard
took advantage of this and started making merchandise. And get this, at a certain point, people would go to this race course just to bet on Haru Urara, knowing very well that they were going to lose, but they would love that because then they'd use that betting ticket as a protective charm for car accidents. They believed that it held special powers, bro. You understand?
Oh yeah, niggas just don't like money. That's what that is.
Superstitions made around it. I mean,
I like being broke. Say it with me. I like being broke.
Saved the Kochi racecourse from going bankrupt. They were able to pay off all their debts thanks to her. And today, as you can see,
okay, Urara, hold on.
That's how much of a legend she is.
No, that's tough.
She's in the game of...
That's hard as fuck. That's like really some anime shit. That like, bro, to be known as the loser, but in a way you were such a loser that shit did good. You know what I'm saying? Like, what am I trying to say? I don't know. It's like you left a legacy behind. You inspired people by being a loser because you never gave up. Even at the end, you still were a loser. But like, who cares? I don't know. There's a message to be found there. I just don't know how to say it. But
this prompted
that's crazy.
Japanese and global players to select her to try and give her the win that she so very.
I'm gonna have to play her low key. Y'all want a video on her? That'd be kind of tough.
In the game,
her a Gold Ship.
Renewed attention from the global audience with their love for Haru Urara eventually allowed them to find out that they can send gifts to her in her retirement because she's still alive. They could send her some premium ryegrass.
The Hello Kitty helmet.
They sent 2.7 tons of ryegrass. Usually one person could buy $40 worth, which is 5 kilograms. But people crashed the donation website, and now we're sitting at 2.7 tons. This is an image of this little cutie receiving her gifts, and it's prompted.
All right, bro. Sometimes life is ain't fair because how you lose. All right. See, at first I was gassy, but what you enough to break a website from losing. You know what? You got it.
Ryegrass is in front of
That's a W though. I'm hating.
Until the end times, 2.7 tons. You're insane.
That is crazy.
In fact, thanks to this game,
it's like
and
free
its
Chick-fil-A
renewed
every
attention on
day.
these horses and their accomplishments, many of them who are now in retirement are receiving many donations, able to fully enjoy their older years. This is because this game didn't just make a lot of money and renew interest in horse racing, but it has single-handedly revitalized the entire horse racing industry globally, specifically in Japan. In the world of horse racing, sometimes
should I give up and just get into horses, y'all? Maybe,
are not able to
possibly.
retire. This can happen for a number of reasons, but usually
Oh,
it's
okay.
because there's not
Get
enough
into it.
funding. Back when this game released in Japan, it fueled a movement of people donating to many of these famous retired horses, ensuring that they not only live a good life, but that they can continue to live in general. But retirement isn't fun if you just have money. It's also nice when you meet people, when you still interact socially. Many of these retired racehorses started receiving visitors, so much so that Umamusume had to release an official guideline on how to visit stables and what to do in order to be respectful. For famous horses such as Haru Urara or Goldship, visits sell out immediately as soon as they're posted. This has led some crazy ridiculous.
You really want to go meet Goldship? You might leave with a black eye, but all right.
Fans to sneak onto the stable grounds sometimes just to see the horses, with Games completely denouncing that and saying you shouldn't do that. Stop.
Maybe I'll be crazy enough to be on the
Games
Goldship
was
hype
making a lot
train
of money
too.
from this game, and they
Some
understood
point.
that there's a mutual benefit here. If horse racing thrives, they thrive too. And so the president of cyber agents, Susumu Fujita, has become a high roller when it comes to buying expensive horses and raising them for races, always being one of the leading buyers when it comes to horse auctions in Japan. So far, he has spent easily over $10 million.
That horse built
making
as
up his
shit.
own
God
fleet of
damn.
race horses, and he's not planning on stopping anytime soon.
I see how
This
buff
isn't
they are
just
from
about
back
Japan.
here. That shit
This
far
is
away.
about horse racing globally. In May of this year, they had announced a partnership with the 151st Kentucky Derby, the most watched and most attended horse race in the United States, taking place since the year 1875. And you had this anime girl horse racing game being their biggest sponsor. This
That's
also
fire.
extends to
That's so
Paris.
fire.
And so on the intro, they're not just sponsoring the Grand Prix de Paris, but they're the main sponsor. And I mean, look, if you show me an image of horse racing, I probably would think, oh, cool. But
Who is this? The red eyes? Hold up. Kind of clean. Damn, what's up with the fist? They all got that shit on. Hold on, she got the suit and tie. As long as I got my suit and tie, and that guy's okay.
If I was a young
Okay,
person and
I
saw
peeped
a
the drip. I
poster
see the
like this,
fit.
I think, whoa, whatever this is, I want this. Where can I get tickets? It's an extremely mutually beneficial partnership. Additionally, racehorsing merchandise has had a boom in Japan ever since the game had come out, truly turning this into an animal idol industry. These dolls, for example, they sell out like crazy. It's actually very hard to get them, especially if you're outside of Asia. Actually, I think they're keychains, but you get the point. Games was essentially making a lot of money from this, but they were using it for good things, making this industry a better place, helping treat retired horses even better, and in general being a positive force in the community.
Okay,
This
they know
reminds me how
ball.
At some point, Hoyoverse, the creators of Genshin Impact, had invested in a nuclear fusion reactor, and in 2024 it became operational. Who would have
Okay,
thought
that's
that
way
you spending
quickly.
money on characters in a gacha game was going to end up somehow in a nuclear fusion reactor in Singapore?
I
This
mean, W
industry is
shit.
revived. It's back. Audiences now feature women, young people, middle-aged people, demographics that horse racing usually wouldn't be able to reach. This has already been happening in Japan, and I'm sure it'll start happening globally thanks to this game.
I
can't help
just
but laugh when I
realized-
say this, but it's true.
Shouts out Mujin, but this horse propaganda in my YouTube feed, bro. Hold on. See now, because this whole time I'm thinking, damn, I really need to support this game some more. This is fire. Not only do I enjoy it, like it's for a good cause. It's putting everybody on ball. It's putting these horses on ball. It's putting everybody on game. Like that's fire. Why'd you go so hard for this video? Respect. It's for the love of the craft, isn't it? But
This anime girl horse racing
Hold
gacha
up.
game has somehow been able to single-handedly
Something
revive
right.
this entire sport.
I'm being brainwashed in real
Somehow
time, y'all. I'm
making the world
scared.
A better place. It's crazy, but it's where we are today. I hope I was able to explain why this game took over the world and why it's continuing to. And I really appreciate you watching until the end. This is a fairly different video from what I usually do on my channel, but hey,
Same
I figured
here.
It would be fun. Now the sponsor does want me to end this video with a message, so before I'll do that, I'll thank you again, say that I love you. And
oh, he's talking about the ship. I was
see you
like,
next time.
Umamusume sponsor. I knew it. Horse sponsor, like this dude. Oh, what's this? No, that's hard. That's hard as fuck. Never give up. Haru Urara. Go crazy. All right. You know what? that was a fire video. First things first, shouts out to the GOAT Mujin. I do appreciate you putting out this fire. It was cool to check this out. I don't even think, maybe once or twice I have, but I haven't really even react to like a commentary video up here before on this channel. I don't know. Usually it'll be like randomly on Twitch every now and then, like maybe some months in between if someone really wants me to, but pretty rarely because I'm just usually busy making content. But this horse game pissed me off today, so here we are. And you know, honestly, this is really fun to check out. So if y'all want to see possibly more videos like this, I'd appreciate you slide on the like button and comment down below letting me know any other things you want me to check out like this. This is actually pretty fun, so I'd be down to do this some more, as well as I am going to do another career run, you know, with y'all. Now I'm debating between Haru Urara and Gold Ship. Gold Ship really might piss me off though, but should I give her a chance? I don't know, man. We'll see. There's a lot of people I want to do a career for though. I feel like it'd be really fun on the channel. Yeah, as long as y'all want to keep seeing it. But I love it, man. I appreciate y'all. I'm gonna catch y'all on the next one. Lowercase W for horses today, okay? Uppercase W for my horse girls. Horses in general, y'all got it, I guess. I don't know, we'll see. But yeah, I love you, man. I appreciate y'all. As always, make sure you take it easy, go crazy, and peace.